Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, skipping ahead of things here because my phone just goofed up on me. I was trying to get to the theme song here, and now my screen appears to have locked up. There we are. We're off to a great start. Hi, folks. How you doing? So this week we are going to be talking with Chris, a representative from the Be Quiet company, and talking about their various products and his history with the company and his history in the industry in general. With us, as usual, we've got Bill.
Hey, everybody. Good to be back.
And we don't have Mosquito because he had other obligations, which is absolutely no problem. So, Bill, you want to introduce everyone else who's with us today?
We've got them on mute currently because we're going to interview Chris to begin this hangout. But we got Jojo from Iceland who's joined us, and it's close to 10 o'clock there. And we've got Caleb, and he's had previous guest appearances on the hangout. Make sure you mute yourself, Caleb. And then we're going to go right over to Chris from Be Quiet because he's in Thailand, and it's what, 6 a.m. currently now, Chris, Monday morning?
6 a.m., yes.
So thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. Here's the thing. Be Quiet, they've been around. Well, they're still fairly new to the industry. I kind of had a casual observation of them on and off, and then I noticed that Jojo and Caleb had started some build logs recently in the forum. And I kind of casually checked it out. I didn't really take the time to look at in-depth the darkbase 900, their full tower case. And then there was a tweet from somebody about a week ago, tweeted me asking me how they could fit their Hardware Labs radiator on the top of their darkbase 900 while still using the top cover. And I had to do a better research to give him an answer. But in the meantime, Chris had responded to him and said, well, lower your motherboard. And I'm like, what? Lower your motherboard? And so like, I got to look into this case. What's this all about? And that's when I discovered that the case has all these built-in options, really cool DIY stuff, also that caters to liquid cooling. And so that prompted me to dive into the 900 darkbase and learn more about Be Quiet. And actually, what I did is I watched Dimitri's overview of the case, Hardware Canucks. He always does excellent video reviews. So, and that's kind of how I connected with Chris. And I think we followed each other, and then I direct messaged him, and I said, hey, it'd be really cool to do a hangout with you.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, we were talking on a Saturday over Twitter, too.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
How cool is that? A rep that's actually answering tweets on a Saturday. You don't see that often.
21st century, baby.
See, Chris understands social media and how important it is. Now, Chris, I want to delve into your history because you've not only Be Quiet isn't your first computer-related manufacturer you've worked for Antec as well, and anybody else. How did you get into this industry?
Oh yeah, actually, I don't know. I got into like PC building in, I guess, 99 with a friend in Germany, and yeah, and then we just, we went into case modding right away, actually, and that's how we like got interested into this whole thing, Yeah, I mean, it was pretty interesting because in 2000 you just didn't have anything what you have today. You didn't even have these cold cathode lights and so on. They came a couple of years later. We didn't have anything, so it was a pretty cool time. I was trying to look up some old pictures of mods of mine, but I just couldn't find them anymore online. That was a pity, but yeah. So yeah, I'm 17, 18 years with computers now.
Wow, that's great.
Like in 2002, I guess.
Wow. That's awesome. I got into I got in 95, like a lot of people, I got my first Dell computer, Windows 95 and all that stuff. But I had no idea that you were involved with modding too. And now it kind of brings things together because you connected with Jojo and Caleb, who are modders. And so you recognize the art form that they're creating.
But I'm really, I know I love PC modding. the problem today is like I really would want to do one of these Hackintosh because I'm using Mac Pro myself, and I bought like 2 of these cases, and it's just in Taiwan here I don't have the tools to make anything happening, you know. So in the end I just ended up gluing the motherboard into the case and just cut out the back that I could connect the cables and stuff. That's my how modding evolved for me, yeah, personally.
Oh man, that makes me happy. I had no idea that you had a modding background, and that is really that's a great asset for Be Quiet, for you to have that background of looking at things differently. You know, you see a challenge and you're like, well, how can we hack through this and find solutions? Now, tell me, when you worked with Antec, what was your main focus there?
Since like yeah, as I mentioned before, I was a reviewer for power supplies actually. So my whole life, or my computer life, I was basically involved with power supplies, and later on cases as well. But yeah, at Antec I was doing the power supply division actually.
Mm-hmm. And is that when you, well, how many years ago did you start with Be Quiet?
It's actually a funny thing because I started with Be Quiet in 2002 and worked for them 2 years until I left and jumped a few companies, and then I came back in 2009, I believe.
Mm-hmm. And when you came to Be Quiet, was your main focus power supplies again for Be Quiet?
No, at that time I actually because they didn't really have like international presence, and like after all those years I switched more from like product management to like business development direction, marketing, product marketing, and yeah, and now I'm even like went more into the sales direction. So
Wow, yeah, you wear many hats over there.
yeah, but it's pretty cool because I can imagine, you know, like when you're working in your working environment, and when you yeah, wore that many hats, you know what's going on in the other departments, and that makes things a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. Now, in regards to Be Quiet in these cases, you know, a lot of people are still learning that Be Quiet offers cases, because it was primarily like here in the US, we learned about the Be Quiet power supplies first, and then the fans. And then these cases, you've got like, what is it, 3 different model cases currently?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And again, like I was just saying, I kind of knew about you from the peripheral, but I didn't know like the details. And I would imagine, just listening to you now, that you probably had a lot to do with the development of these cases.
I wish I could say I did, but we have capable people doing the cases actually.
Mm-hmm.
Let me explain quickly about Be Quiet. I mean, the company is already now 16 years old, so it's just, you know, in the US we started basically 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. So that's why, like, to some people the brand sounds rather new, but we're market leader basically in Germany for the last 10 years, and we're definitely one of the biggest brands in Europe. It's just, you know, it's just really difficult for a company in Europe to set foot into the North American market, and yeah, it took quite some time for Be Quiet, but when I started, we kind of said we want to take that seriously, and yeah, here we are today.
Yeah, I can see, and it's like it reminds me of Natura fans. Also, another, they have their headquarters in Germany. It took them many years to get a reputation, and just like you're doing, is that they started reaching out to the enthusiast community first, the people like us here in this Hangout today that are hardcore DIY, that are building more than one PC a year, and really care about the specs on something like a fan. And so it makes a lot of sense to reach out to the DIY hobbyists, and then from there, because somebody like, well, like even these guys with us today, Jojo and Caleb, they're developing their own following on social media. And when they say a product is good, or they're working with a product, their followers are like, hey, there's something legit about this. I should check out. You know, so it makes sense, and it does take time. What I wanted to ask is maybe, and I know sometimes NDAs get involved and you can't reveal a lot of what you're working on. I do know that you guys are going to be at CES though.
Yes, yeah, more or less we will be here.
Okay, you're going to have a hotel suite there?
Not really, but yeah, I will be there because I will. Yeah, I'm always there actually. So yeah, we will have. Yeah, now that you're talking about NDA, we will have a new with us.
Yeah, let's get nervous. Oh, what's he gonna ask me? I can't sit. My question is though, okay, since these cases that you've got already, they're really exceptionally good designs. Is there a chance that Be Quiet will expand into like a micro ATX or an ITX case?
I know the plans were there. I believe it was definitely on the map. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't know now if it's like the next thing after the next thing we're doing.
Okay.
But it's definitely on the map, and yeah, I believe we will have something in that direction.
All right. Well, can you reveal like how was like? I've just noticed that like the reviews of the Be Quiet. The darkbase 900 have started to appear more on like YouTube channels. I know that Logan had gotten one, or he put up a review like a week or so ago. How are sales going so far in the US for the case?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's when we started, I think in late June we introduced it, and like the first containers were sold out basically like instantly. I was just really shocked because the problem is when you sell out the containers you have, you don't have any products anymore, and it takes like at least a month, for the next shipment to arrive.
Yeah, well, dude, that's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it was received really well, and I know the same for Europe as well. It's really amazing, how we were doing. Like we introduced cases 2 years ago, I think. We started with the whole thing, and we had the silent bases, and with the dark base, we kind of went like a direction where we designed everything by ourselves, and yeah, that's what makes it so special. That's why it took quite some time, because when we started developing the dark base, I think it was like one of the first cases actually we wanted to do, and then we had already like samples and everything, and then we said like, okay, this case is going to be like $400. Let's grab it and just start over,
Absolutely. And what I've got queued up here on the screen share is Dimitri's video of the dark base. Now, you guys can unmute yourselves. Jojo, Caleb, come on in and join the party and tell me how you met Chris. How did you guys all connect? And we'll start with Jojo as we watch this overview of the 900 dark base.
Actually, I never had contact with Chris. I contacted a lady in Germany directly.
Yeah, we have one person in Europe taking care of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and so you reached out to a lady. Oh, so Jojo, you were interested in getting a sample to mod then?
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
Because I saw the case and I was like, yeah, it kind of caught my eye, and I really wanted to do something with it. Mm-hmm. And it's, yeah.
What caught your eye about it? What prompted you to reach out?
Mostly the modularity of the case. I mean, there hasn't been another case with that kind of modularity. It's like lowering the motherboard tray or reversing it with the hardware at hand without doing any major changes to the case. It's all right there. Mm-hmm. It's easy to do. I mean, I tried 3 different layouts of the case, and it was no problem. The only thing you need is a Phillips screwdriver. So
that's cool.
It's quite a nice invention, and I think the case in future will make quite a difference.
Mm-hmm. Jojo, you could tell that they actually took their time. They did their homework to do something that DIY enthusiasts would really like. Yeah.
Most definitely, yes.
Yeah, because you've seen a variety of cases in your modding career.
Yes, I have, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I also recently I just wanted to mention that since it has been mentioned by Chris, I recently got myself a Hackintosh, so I am working on a Power Mac G5.
Nice.
Cool,
Yes.
man. Isn't this true that Gigabyte still has a board that you can run both OSs on? Guys, if you want to do a Hackintosh, both Windows and
Oh, wow.
Apple.
I haven't looked in. Yeah.
There was a mother. Drew, you remember that? There was a Gigabyte board you could run both on.
Yeah, actually, they several of the different sites recommend Gigabyte recently, and Tony Mac OS x86 is the site that I tend to use, and it's usually Gigabyte that they're recommending, or certain MSI boards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing about Apple and PC, I believe, have your foot in both worlds. Both offer their own benefits and they have their own faults. Never be closed-minded about it, you know. And it's the same thing for me about cars. I mean, people are like, "Oh, you can only drive this. I have no respect for you unless you drive a BMW or something." And I'm like, well, hey, you know, there's great things about Japanese cars too. You know, why not experience it all if you can?
No, it was like I think for me it was more like because I had a PC all my life, and it was like when Windows was changing at some point. You had this free version of Windows, and at some point it was running out, and it kept on like artificially crashing your PC, you know. And I also like screw this, you know. And then I went to the local store and bought myself an iMac, you know, because I just wanted to have like something stable for work, you know.
Right.
Yeah, it was just like, yeah, for me it was like a work decision, and I never changed back. I have like PCs for gaming and my Mac for work, you know.
Mm-hmm. Caleb, how about you? How did you connect with Be Quiet?
Actually, I had contacted a rep in Europe, and I've worked with them for a few builds now, so I've kind of built a relationship with them. And I met Chris quickly after I had started working with their products through Twitter, and me and him have kind of gone back and forth on Twitter times here and there and throughout projects and stuff like that.
Caleb, you had also mentioned that you're going to CES.
Yes, I am. Actually, Chris is picking me up from the airport, so
look at
I'll
this
be down
guy,
in
Chris.
CES.
He's going to pick you up at the airport too. What other reps would do that?
He's such a nice guy.
He
No,
is
the
a
guys
nice
from
guy.
everybody from Be Quiet, they're great to work with. On weekends, if you need something, they're always available. It's just been the easiest company that I've worked with personally. I mean, they're real genuine about the stuff that they're doing and the stuff that you're doing too. They want to help, and what can we do to help facilitate whatever needs to be done.
That's cool. Do you guys, so I imagine, Caleb, your build is going to be finished and it's going to be displayed at CES?
Yes, it's actually created for UPS to figure out how to pick it up. And it'll be displayed at CES. I can't really talk about some of the stuff in it. But
No, that's all right. I mean, can you share where people can see it there?
If I remember, I think it's going to be it's going to be displayed with Gigabyte. So it's in one of their rooms, and I think it's at something before the show, and then it goes to CES, if I remember right. But Gigabyte's the one that will be displaying it. So, and it's called Apex. So.
And you've not revealed it fully yet to anyone, from what I can tell.
No, just a few close-ups, some water cooling close to the stairs, and you just get a few close-ups of it.
Your ISP is being
bits
mean.
and some of the case, and that's about it.
Your ISP isn't cooperating, Caleb. You got cut out, man. Froze. We'll go back to Chris. Now, Chris, have you been to CES before in Vegas?
Well, yeah, like the last 10 years.
All right, man, that's cool. Well, you never know. What is your favorite thing about CES when you're there?
Well, I don't know. I think it's just really exciting every time, you know. It's like the whole environment, you know. First you have like all of these friends at one place, then you have like these massive hotels, then it's like just everything, you know. Like food is great, you know. Have like a million restaurants, and yeah, this is really exciting, you know. And the time of the year is also really cool, you know. You have like all of that Q4 stress behind you, you know. You're starting the new year, and like first thing you go to Vegas, you know. It's just, I don't know, it's just really cool.
So, I mean, I like the fact that you're picking up Caleb at the airport. So are you going to take out Caleb one night out on Vegas and show him Vegas? Are you guys going to hang together most of the time, or what?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I would definitely show him Vegas. Yeah, I know it's his first time there as well, so I would definitely show him a few places.
Mm-hmm. Caleb, have you been to Vegas before?
I've been a few times.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Yeah, I was there in 2010. It's a blast.
Oh, that was your last time?
2000. Wait, no, it's 2010 or 12. I always get them confused. I was there.
Things are changing overnight there, you know. So it might look completely different now after a couple of years.
Right. Well, I was there with Fractal Design. They were there only 1 year, and we shared a booth together in one of the main halls. And we were right next. We were kitty corner to Leon Lee.
Wow.
And I just recall it's very, very expensive to have a booth there. It's there's no joke about it.
It's you know? Nowadays nobody's having a booth anymore.
No. I know. But I can say this about it. That first day when they let the media through, when you're on the main floor, and when they first open the doors and that crowd of people comes in, and it's for people from all over the world, it's you can't touch that aspect of it. Like, hey, I'm from France, I'm from Brazil, all these people, just that first day, it's awesome. And you're just meeting so many people, getting business cards, or just hearing so many people's stories and that. And that's one benefit when you're on the main, like in the main hall. But guys, you're talking so much money. It's close to $100,000 cost to be in the main hall for that whole time. And yeah, it's a business write-off, but
it's just for a couple of days. It was just too much, you know. It reminds me like I don't know if you know CeBIT, yeah.
Oh yeah, in Germany, yeah.
If my first CeBIT was, I think, in 2000, and at that time it was just massive, you know, and like every company had to spend like $100,000, you know, for sure. And it's just too much, you know. So yeah, I think this one thing about Vegas I like the most is that you have like the opportunity to go into the hotels, even though if the CS organizers don't like that very much, but it's what companies do because it's just cheaper to go there, you know.
Absolutely, and it's a more intimate environment where you can actually carry on a dialogue, and because sometimes the main hall can just be so crowded and busy, and you're constantly bombarded by people. It's exciting, but yeah, it's but for what you do, yeah, it does make sense. So where are you guys? Oh, so wait, you're saying it's just going to be you from Be Quiet at CES? You're not going to have a Be Quiet?
I'll have Roxy with me. She's handling marketing and PR in North America.
Okay, and you guys won't have a suite with like your products displayed though?
No.
Okay, yeah. That's not
first year. Actually, we don't do that. It's I don't know. Next year again, or the following year.
Yeah, but it's I can understand because, you know, Fractal Design started doing the same thing. They would just go to the parties and make new connections and talk with people that, you know, manage sites or from publications or YouTube celebrities, right? Because that's really where a lot of the marketing is today.
Yeah, I mean, you can do so many things, you know. That's why I said, okay, we just go there. We have like a Newegg party, you know, and you know, where we can like meet the reps from Newegg, and yeah, there's just so many things and so many opportunities. You can meet people, you know. So it's quite a fact.
Droug, you had noticed something on Be Quiet's website today that a lot of other manufacturers don't offer.
The ability to double check the compatibility of a bunch of different stuff. I was seeing that especially Mosquito had pointed out first, which drew my attention, was for your air coolers. You actually had a list of motherboard compatibility and which combination everything would work with to make sure you weren't crashing into the sidewall of the case and whatnot.
It's yeah, it's a really great feature. I would hope that more people would use it actually.
It's killer, dude. I love it.
You know, I love seeing just little touches, that a bit of attention that you don't normally see from other companies. He was saying that it'd be fantastic to have just that add-on in Newegg, you know, just to be able to say, I want this case. What motherboards can I use with this video card or with this cooler? It simplifies things so much.
It's really, I guess the difficulty will be to keep the database up to date, you know, because like there's like, you know, every day a new motherboard, you know, and
yeah, it's a job in itself. Also, you've got the power supply calculator, so people know what size power supply they should get. In fact, I'm going to use this link when people ask me, Bill, will this 600-watt power supply power my Crossfire? This is perfect. I've got this now. This is the answer.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool tool. Yeah, it just helps our customers, you know, to find the right products.
Whose idea was this? Do you know? They should get the nice little Christmas bonus.
We have this PSU calculator for such a long time actually already. You know, it's yeah. I believe that I was working at that time for another company, but I pitched the idea to Be Quiet and wanted to actually do it for them, but then they did it, you know, did it anyway without me, and yeah, I was like, must have been 2007 or 8 in this direction.
Yeah, you gotta forgive me again. I'm still a Be Quiet newbie, man. I'm still learning.
No worries.
Oh, these lazy Americans.
Safe place. Just let me know what you want to know.
Hey man, I got some a suggestion for you that I've never seen another company do though. And what it is, and I've brought this up with other companies in the past, and especially you have the opportunity, you could do it there since you're in Taiwan, is I would really like to see how these fans are tested and so you can actually see the results when it's listed as having a static pressure amount or decibel. I know that the manufacturers have, I've heard about it. It's like a some type of
wind tunnel kind of thing, yeah, like a small version of it, yeah.
Yeah, dude. If Be Quiet would do a video overview of how the testing is done and actually show the specs of the fan and all that, that would bring you a lot of street cred for. You know, because no one else has done it. And at the Mod Zoo, we've contemplated getting into and building it and stuff. So we could do fan reviews and actually show that manufacturers telling, you know, realistic specs on their fans, because let's be honest here, there's no way that your average consumer can check the static pressure on a cooling fan.
Yeah, it is quite difficult, yeah. We actually have a blog series online, and we are like giving people inside information. You can just go to the front page and it says like inside Be Quiet. Sounds a little sexual to me, but but yeah, it's like we have like 7 blog posts there, and I believe it's like it's really interesting because it's very detailed and with a lot of pictures and so on. We didn't cover fans yet, but for example, for power supplies, you have like how we went, you know, to design, to start designing the power supply, the straight power series, for example, in this case.
And what can you tell us about the power supplies? In your own words, what makes your power supplies so good?
Yeah, for starters, we have I think one of the lowest RMA rates in the industry, and that is based on several factors. I think the biggest thing what we are doing is it's like to say we designed the thing from ground up is definitely wrong. We take a design from a manufacturer and then we just make it better, you know. Whereas like other companies just take it and relabel it, you know. And I think this is the difference, you know. We really focus on every little part, because when you want to make a silent product, then you need to design the inside very well, you know, that you get the thermals in check, you know, because when you have like a fan running really slow, it's just the airflow is just really little at that point, you know, and so you need to design the thermals so well, and I think this is in general helping with the quality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking at the pictures now. You're inside Be Quiet, and you're showing the manufacturing process of the power supply.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for most people, you know, they have never seen a factory or how this is done, you know, so it's pretty interesting, and we have a lot of like pictures, I guess, you know, where you just don't see usually on manufacturer sites. Yeah.
No, you're right. There's always been like this lack of transparency between manufacturers and consumers in this market, and Be Quiet sees an opportunity here to have an edge over the competitors that, no, we're going to show you how this is made. You've got 33 pictures showing the process of how our power supply is made. That is just so cool. Now, Jojo and Caleb, you guys are running Be Quiet power supplies in your builds?
In all of mine.
No. Caleb, were you already sold on Be Quiet power supplies before you started this project with the darkbase?
Power supply on the dark matter scratch build that I did, and that was my first experience with them, and I've done a few builds with them since then, and I mean their power supply is awesome. Actually, on the Apex build, I got the opportunity to take one apart to do some mods on the inside so you can actually see inside the power supply, and I was just amazed at how they're built.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. Chris, is Be Quiet expanding other than the US? Are you expanding into other countries recently with your products?
Yeah, since I'm based in Asia, I try to push Asian countries as well quite strongly, and we covered a lot of groundwork here actually, and yeah, expanding, you know, as fast as possible, you know, everywhere. It's just for me personally, I focus more on North America, but we have like salespeople who help me here in Asia, and yeah, we did like I think most of the bigger economy countries, you know, they're definitely under the hood already. So yeah, we're doing.
Now Caleb mentioned that in your work log, Caleb, that you were officially the first darkbase 900 case mod in the US. Is that true? I don't know if it's, yeah, he is. Yeah, and then Jojo, I would imagine for sure in Iceland, right? Your audio's cut, Jojo. Oh, now you muted yourself.
Yeah, it's lagging bad.
Yeah. Okay, Caleb, what type of feedback, Chris is here, do you have any suggestions for Be Quiet to maybe consider in a future revision of the darkbase 900? See, freezing up.
Yeah, you froze up.
Jojo, any feedback for Chris? Yeah, this always makes it interesting. Yep, you lost your audio, man. I have yet to see the darkbase in person yet, so I can't offer anything. But what I've seen already, especially in Dimitri's overview, yeah, it's really cool. I can't think of another case that's manufactured overseas that allows the motherboard to be repositioned. Do you guys know of one? Jojo, any other manufacturer that offers the same kind of motherboard options as the dark base.
You mean like reversing the motherboard tray, or the option of installing different sizes of motherboards?
Yeah, all the above, man. I mean, you can either raise or lower it, or you can make it inverted.
Yeah. I don't know of any case so far.
Other than
Yeah, I don't either.
I think Case Labs has something.
Yeah.
But they're made in the U.S. and they're an enthusiast company. But not from a manufacturer, a case coming from Taiwan that I know of.
And especially not at that price point.
No, since
you mentioned Case Labs, I mean, they're in a different, totally different price category.
Exactly. And what is the dark base retail? Is it what, 170 or I can't remember?
We have like with a tempered glass, it's $249.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Tempered glass. Chris, the whole tempered glass bandwagon thing. You guys obviously had to answer. Everybody wants that now.
Yeah. It's, I think, I like the tempered glass one side panel. I just don't know what to think of, the motherboard side clear. This is, I don't know what the purpose is really.
Yeah, Inwin started that. And by the way, anybody that's watching through our YouTube stream, if you've got any questions, just post them up in the chat window, and we can ask Chris. Like I was saying earlier that we do custom work, and I've had a lot of people just asking over Twitter, would you do a tempered glass side panel for my NZXT Phantom? Or in this, like, well, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to, but that's what happens when you see, like Corsair just released their tempered glass case this year that's got the tempered glass front and side. Looks just like an in-one case. So Chris,
I think it's a pretty good business idea, if you're like a glass maker, window maker, I don't know what the name is, you could just, jump on that bandwagon and make a website, cut the glass, and whatever, drill holes and stuff, like custom made for people. I guess that would be something.
Mm-hmm. Martin Hutnick on the YouTube chat said, I've used the calculator a few times. It works very well. And he says, hey, since we're talking Apple G5, I made 2 mods with that case. Well, we were talking like a Hackintosh. And I want to share my work logs. He was trying to share the link and he couldn't hear. Martin, post your work log on the Modzu forums, themodzu.com, and go to the community forums. And if you're not already a registered member, post it on there. We'd like to check it out. Shane Harrell just joined the chat and says, glass cases look nice, but they're not set up for a hardcore water-cooled system. Yes, you are exactly right. They're not. And in fact, our next Hangout that we're doing on New Year's Day, January 1st, is going to be the best and the worst of 2016, with people submitting a product that really knocked their socks off and then one that disappointed. And when I asked for feedback on Twitter for suggestions, the first thing somebody said was that Corsair case that I just mentioned came out this year, that the layout in it wasn't very good for liquid cooling. So I think what's happened, obviously, in this, you could say this about the whole RGB lighting thing, is that all the manufacturers jump onto this bandwagon to offer this product, and I think that they rush so fast to do it that they overlook some details, just to get it out there so fast to cash in on that trend, right?
Yeah, to have some product ASAP, it's just funny for me to see, like in 2000, 2001, when the whole mod scene started, and like, there was nothing, and suddenly there was like everything, cold cathode lights, and all that mumbo jumbo stuff, it was really funny. And then it just died out, and then it came back, and then died out, I think, and now it's coming back. It's just really funny, and now, the possibilities are so big for everything, like this RGB, the fans and everything, these LED strips and stuff. You know, it's like it's really amazing. You know what kind of products you have today. You know, but you know, who knows how long this trend is still there? It's like you see with Be Quiet, you know, you have not a single LED fan or anything. You know, it's we have it in the darkbase 900 Pro because we have the tempered glass window side panel.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
that's a must, I guess. Yeah, everyone is asking us for RGB fans, but it's just something Be Quiet is just not.
Don't do it, man. Don't give in.
I was just trying to say, if you want to do something different in the modding community these days, I think leaving the RGB light somewhere else is definitely a thing you should do, because everybody has RGB lighting these days.
Yeah, it's hard to differentiate who's got the best and the worst RGB lighting. You know, that's another thing too. But you know, fractal design
in China, there's just maybe like, you know, 2 manufacturers who are doing like the fans, for example, you know, and like everyone is just buying from them and has like almost the same product, you know.
Yes. I recently I did a build with the Corsair 600C, and they sent me their RGB fans. And what I didn't like about them is that you needed to plug them into a controller, a light controller module, in order to control the colors through a remote. And I'm like, I just don't want to add one more thing to this. It just means it's more wires and more clutter. For what? To change? Because let's all be honest here. How often are you changing the color of your lights? Once you get the color you want, are you just going to go in there? Oh, I think I'm going to go green now. But my whole theme was orange originally. I mean, Caleb, you can relate to that, right? Caleb, are you alive? He may not. I think, Jojo, you can understand that though. But once you set up a color theme, you kind of stick with it, right?
Definitely. I mean, Be Quiet, the Dark Pro 900 does definitely offer the opportunity that you can change the lightings, but you usually don't do it. You either have it white or you choose your color and then you just leave it be. So yeah, I don't think you change the lighting.
So Joe, go ahead.
I know.
Jojo, what are you doing with your Be Quiet dark base build right now? What's going on with that?
At the moment, I'm waiting for a CPU block to arrive so I can continue like planning out the loop. I had a CPU block installed from EK, but it had a golden accent to it, and I just didn't like how it looked. So I ordered a new one. It's something special, something not everybody has already, and that's actually one thing I really try to do these days, trying something that nobody has done, or at least not 20 people have done already. So I'm waiting for that CPU block, then I can continue planning out the loop and probably do some more changes once I see how the loop looks and such.
Mm-hmm. Well, what is making this water block so special, Jojo?
This new one, it's from aquacomputer, and it has its own computer on it. It's the Cairo Next.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you going to get a magnifying glass to read that?
I don't think you need one. I mean, I have the pump from aquacomputer with the same display, and you don't need a magnifying glass to read the temperature or.
All right, I was just teasing, man. All right, what I'm going to do is I'll share Black Treasure. This is Jojo's Be Quiet Dark Base 900 build. So you can see this work log on the Modzu forums. It's Jojo Haraldsson.
Yeah.
Haraldsson Computer Modifications. Jojo, do you have a fan page on Facebook, or is it just your personal profile?
It's just my personal profile.
All right.
Since I don't do anything else on Facebook, so I just have it like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like that. I think Caleb is like that too. Just kind of keeps it mod related on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you guys both are modding the same case, right?
Yeah, I've done 2 in the Dark Base Pro. So I have Iconic that I'm working on right now, and then Apex I did for CES. That's both in them.
9 PCI slots. I like it. There we go. And then also I like this, the included PCB board for the fan control, so you can run everything through the PWM signal. That's pretty cool. Is there anything else that offers, Chris, other than just connecting all your fans with the PWM?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I was actually at that time, I didn't even know when I found out it's like it takes the PWM signal from the motherboard. I didn't actually know that's not a common thing. Yeah? So I was pretty surprised there, but it's pretty cool. I mean, it's like we do the LED lights and everything that all runs through that PCB as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you basically connect everything, you know. And the most important thing is we have like a couple of questions regarding this, that the LEDs and fans are not running. It's like you need to connect this to the power. Yeah? So.
Yeah. Right. You know, and it's interesting, Chris, are you seeing a lot of people that are just eliminating the use of having a 3.5-inch hard drive cage in there? Are they taking that out?
Yeah, I think our solution is pretty cool actually, because it's like you can individualize the whole thing really easily. And with our new case we will be introducing in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we have like
well, you just revealed it, dude. You weren't supposed to reveal it. You just let it go out, man. So you might as well tell us more about this new case that you're revealing.
Yeah, it's in the sub $100 region, and it picks quite a lot of features from the darkbase.
Will it still allow the different options with the motherboard mounting, or just will be a static one position?
It will be static, yeah. That's okay. One thing. It's just, you know, it's very difficult to make the moving motherboard. You know, you need to have like the space in general, and it's just, you know, you need a big case for that.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's a lot more parts, and obviously, and there's Jojo's motherboard outside of it. He's gonna put it in his own way, the way he wants it. So this project is still going on, and Caleb is also on this forum as well, and his build log is called Iconic. And he's keeping his cards close to his chest, though. He hasn't revealed what it looks like yet. And I think it's done already, isn't it, Caleb? It's all done.
Yeah, it's all planned. I mean, I have an endpoint, which is saying a lot for a case mod. So I know where it's going, and it's kind of going to wrap up pretty quick here.
Caleb, now I know that if you've watched previous Hangouts and you've heard me whine and bitch about that fear of UPS or FedEx dropping your build, what precautions are you going to take to protect your build, man?
Well, I built a shipping crate. It's well padded. It's got a 2-inch foam that's wrapped around it several times with every kind of shipping material you can imagine. The problem I'm having is with them actually picking it up when they say they're going to pick it up. They're supposed to pick it up like 3 or 4 days ago, and they keep saying, "Oh, we'll be there tomorrow," and then they never show up. So that's the issue I'm having with UPS. I'm not exactly their biggest fan at the moment.
When you say crate, did you make a wooden crate for it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I made a wooden crate.
Is it? Do you have it strapped to a pallet or not?
The pallet's built into the crate.
Okay,
so
okay.
All in piece.
So it's you're forcing UPS to use a transport truck then versus just the regular brown truck. That's good.
Yeah, they got a liftgate service and all of that, so it's going through their freight.
Yep. Yep. That's the way you got to do it. It's the only way to kind of limit the hands-on and the opportunity of some knucklehead dropping your box.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, have you like when you've dealt with trade shows and stuff, have you had like shipments get damaged?
Oh, all the time, I guess. Yeah.
Oh.
Like with me personally, maybe not too many now, but it's like in general when you also ship stuff to reviewers and so on, it's just really, I don't know. I don't know what you can do about it. You know, I mean, it's not rocket science not to drop stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. All it takes is somebody who's disgruntled, or from what I heard, I had a friend that used to work for UPS. He told me that a lot of these, and I use quotation marks, accidents happen in the sort center when the parcels or the containers are on conveyors and they're being sorted to different areas in the sort center. And what will happen is something will clog up the line, the conveyor, like a box will fall over, and then all the other cartons behind it will like boom, 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 and then they'll fall off the conveyor, which can be, he told me, almost 20 feet high off the ground. He said that's where he's seen things get damaged. It wasn't somebody dropping it; it was just the it popping off the conveyor in their sort center.
Yeah, bad designing.
Yeah. So, did you guys have any questions for Chris while we're at it? Because we're going to be closing up here soon. Oh, come on. You got to ask. Here's the opportunity.
No, I didn't have any questions, but I just did want to compliment the design. I downloaded the manual and was going through the design on the case, and specifically reading the section on what it takes to do all of the adjustments. And I don't think I've ever found a manual that is this in depth. More importantly, that it's the great combination of detailed pictures, but they're not leaving off instructions the way that somebody like IKEA would, making you guess on how to match up the photos. And I can tell right now, just from having glanced at the manual, I could probably sit down with this case and be able to figure out anything I would need to do within a minimal amount of time. And
yes, it's like the small details. I think this is like the amount of time the team is investing into a manual, into like basically the whole designing process and so on. Yeah.
By the way, just because I want to try to cover all the questions being asked in the YouTube chat, Shane asks, Chris, any plans for Be Quiet to make a glass case made for water cooling?
A glass case? Well,
probably he's alluding to like the tempered glass all the way around.
I mean, I don't think we will have like a wraparound tempered glass case, no.
Yeah. Has anybody ever dropped a tempered glass window, a window pane?
Thank God, no.
It's pretty intense. And when people ask if we would do like side panels for cases, and I'm like, my fear is, because we do so many international shipments, is like we're just talking about how things get dropped. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Bill, what you need to do is you need to make the laminated tempered glass that we use in windshields. That has got to be the next thing that you push.
Oh, wow. I can only imagine the development costs for that, Droug. Yeah. And I would need like some type of like glass foundry, wouldn't I?
Oh, you're right next to 3M practically. Come on, you can get on that.
Okay. You saw the car I posted today in my video. It's a 1997 Honda Accord wagon. Do I look like I have the kind of money to? But this has been great, and again, I'm overjoyed that Chris has actually got his start with modding, because not enough manufacturing reps are even modders, and I have so much respect for that, and the fact that you put so much time into just reaching out to people and answering questions, man. It's very commendable. Chris, where do you want them to find you that are watching this?
I mean, we have several social media outlets like Facebook, Twitter. They're basically everywhere, you can reach us through the website as well. We have like a service section where you can reach out, and it definitely reaches me personally here as well. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
And just like the thumbnail that we're using for the Hangout today with Chris's photo on it, we have his Twitter handle right under his photo. So any of you that want to tweet at him that are on Twitter, have any questions, he's really awesome about answering.
Yeah, that would be the quickest as well, because Twitter is just really awesome in that regard. You can just answer quickly and get started if there's something to do and so on.
Okay, and then Jojo and Caleb. Caleb, where can people find you online?
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything's pretty much at Envious Mods.
Cool. And Jojo, you're just on Facebook?
No, I'm on both Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and
Dude.
also I'm on YouTube. So.
Oh, you are? What? Okay, what is your Twitter handle? Because I'm not following you.
Jojo Haraldsson, I think.
Good grief, man.
Easy.
All right, we'll follow you. And what is your YouTube channel, Jojo?
Jojo Haraldsson.
All right, we're in. Okay, just like, okay. Excellent. So, Droug, do you have anything else you wanted to mention? And I just got some little news bits before we close out.
Well, here in a couple of days, I'll be getting a new mixer, so hopefully the audio will go back to what it started off as being, where I can inject music and have it sound good the entire way through, and I won't be dropping out and crapping out like I was a couple of weeks back. And beyond that, I don't really have anything major. I mean, there's the usual security stuff that, you know, this is going to be kind of an end of the year thing. You know, just keep a good eye on your passwords. Don't use anything too simple. Don't use the same password on important websites that you do for your general websites, you know, for Twitter and whatever. And make sure you pay attention when companies like Yahoo are releasing that over 1 billion of their accounts have been compromised. You know, really start thinking about not using the same password that you've used on Yahoo in the last 10 years. Things like that. It's getting scary out there. It's the main takeaway.
I wanted to mention, I said earlier that our next hangout, which we're going to do on January 1st, New Year's Day, is going to be your best and worst of 2016. What is that product that you bought this year, you really love, you want to let other people know about it? And what's that product that pissed you off? What the hell, right? What? The review looked good, but this is just garbage. We're going to have an episode. I'm going to read anybody's submissions through the forum on the Modzoo forums. We've got a thread started on there, and you can post your best and your worst product of 2016. Chris, do you have a best product of 2016 other than Be Quiet?
Best product. I don't know. I don't really buy stuff for myself, actually.
What?
Yeah, I just got myself a MacBook just to be able to, you know, work while traveling, because my old MacBook Air just is pretty cool, because the battery kind of blew or something. It's like the MacBook was like round. Yeah.
What the hell?
It's really funny. At some point, I was like, wait a second, why it's starting to shake? Because, you know, while time, they're like, oh crap.
Oh man.
No, but besides that, actually, I don't know. Yeah, I got a few PC parts this year. Nice Asus 980, actually, pretty good. But yeah, besides that, you know, pretty happy camper. Oh, wait a second. No, I forgot one thing. Wait a second. Yes, sir.
It's a mouse.
Logitech.
I believe it's 502, G502, something like this.
G502, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the best mouse I've ever used.
Really?
Yeah, with a 3310 sensor.
Oh.
No idea. Don't ask me about that.
What's the retail price on that?
I think it was like sub 100, like maybe $80 or something like this, maybe 70, 80 bucks.
Okay. And Jojo, you have the same one too, or?
No, I have a Myonix caster.
Ah.
Ooh.
Okay.
With same sensor though.
Ah, the sensor. It's all about the sensor. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Cool. Well, and also this week on the Modzoo, we're going to have our What the Hell, the best. What we're doing is we've been doing a podcast at the Modzoo. Believe it or not, I know those of you can't believe that we actually do a podcast too. We've been doing it since 2012. And we have a segment in the podcast called What the Hell, where we all share our what the hell moment. You know, you deal with stupid family members, stupid friends, stupid people in the public, right, do stupid things or just stupid products. It's a what the hell moment, and we share those. And that episode is on the Modzu, and also we're going to post it right here on this YouTube channel, so you can subscribe. And while you're wrapping gifts or you're working on a build or something over the holiday break, you can listen to over an hour of these funny stories of everybody on the staff sharing. So that's really it. I want to thank everybody for joining the Hangout today, especially since you're all over the world in different time zones. And thanks, everybody, for watching in the chat and posting your questions and comments.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
You bet.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, anytime, guys. It was fabulous. I always love learning about, getting into the other parts of the industry, that, the company reps that actually deal with everyone. Talking to a company rep who doesn't get a chance to actually work with the other departments gets a little frustrating, but knowing somebody who actually knows how the company does everything, that's fantastic to hear.
Great. Yeah.
So we do have one question here, Bill. Boogles McGee, he wants to know, is the best worst of thread already up, and where is it? Where will it be located? So he's asking, tell me where to go in the forum.
It's an active thread. It's in the general discussion area of the modzu.com community forums. Just go to the modzu.com, all one word, and look at the community forums, and you'll find it there. And also, I tweeted a link. I tweeted a link the other day, but I'll tweet again, and I'll keep reminding everybody over the holiday break to post your submissions. And I want to know, what was that product that blew you away and that one that just disappointed? So, all right, Droug, close us out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, all of our fans here, we all know that you've got that something that's been annoying you that you want to change just right, cut it up. I want you to paint it up. I want you to come over to the Modzu and tell us about it, themodzu.com. And, you can hit us up on Twitter, Facebook, Google+. All of those links are found at the forum. And if you do listen to the podcast and you download it through iTunes, we want you to get out there and you tell other people about it. Rate it for us and spread the word. They don't get the podcasts out as often as they'd like to, but the more word gets put out, the higher the reviews are, the more likely that it'll get up onto the charts and other people discover it. And, you start making some noise and poking at the guys, and eventually they're going to get the hint and start making them more often. Right, Bill?
That's right. Yes, sir.
So you guys have a good week, and we'll see you next time around when we talk about the best or the worst of 2016. There's going to be a lot of worst ofs, I think.
Yeah. Happy holidays.